Welcome back to Daybreak Africa. For just reaching from studio saying Ondo City and Ezekiel, Ogar. This morning we have a guest in the house, President of Alexander Omojadegbe, to discuss with us the local government elections, which of course we are gearing towards in Ondo State. Welcome on Daybreak Africa.
Thank you for joining us this morning.
Thank you for having me.
It's been a while.
Yes. So.
Anyways, going straight to the discourse of the day, we know that the Independent Electoral Commission of Ondo State's chairman, Dr. Joseph Aramo, recently came out to pronounce 16th December 2023 as the date for the local government elections in the state. And just recently, we also heard about the creation of the local council development areas. That's 33 of them to be added to the already existing 18. So what do you think of the time frame between this exercise, and how do you think it's going to be feasible to actually implement this local council development areas before the elections?
Yes, thank you very much. I think creation of L.C.D.A. is not just happening with this administration. It has been an age-long thing. In fact, Adefarati created during his reign between 1999 and 2003. He created, but unfortunately, he didn't have the grace of Dr. Olusegun Agagu. Okay. In 2009, Dr. Olusegun Mimiko instituted a committee that will see into creation of L.C.D.A. They did their job. I think it was this committee that Arakunrin first looked into before setting up his own committee to see viability of the one created before they eventually announced this 33. It depends on them. There is time. They have shifted the election from December to February. It's no more December. So if they want to have elected officials in all the L.C.D.A., it is possible for them because they have already made it known to the public of the number of L.C.D.A. created. Everything is making 51 now. So if they still want to have it, I think it is possible to have election into all the 51.
Now, there's this belief as to deploy from the ruling class to actually hold on to power using the system of this L.C.D.A. Do you think that's correct?
Well, I don't believe in that because it's, if we see the function of local government is to just bring government nearer to the people. There are a lot of things that state government are handling now that is supposed not to handle. It's supposed to be the rules of local government, like collecting money from market. It's not the role of state government. Grading of roads. It's not a role of state government. But now state government has hijacked the role of local government. But bringing it back to them, when we have L.C.D.A., they see how to manage it. The community will see how to manage it, how to make it work themselves. I think most of the L.C.D.A. created, they've swung into action. Most of the community given, they've swung into action. They've started raising funds to sustain the L.C.D.A. given to them.
Now, usually when it comes to L.C.D.s, it tends to actually affect states where seem to be sort of overpopulated. For example, Lagos State, we have over 20 million persons in Lagos State. And at the time, we know for a fact if state as Lagos State could talk about LCDAs, it could be considered. But on those states, we are not exactly that overpopulated per se. And bringing it kind of, talking about expenses at some point, it's expensive to actually tend to handle. We could barely cater for the 18 local government area already, and then we're bringing down LCDs. Consider the expenses, consider the necessity per se.
Let me correct that one notion. The impression you have is that maybe they will not be able to sustain that L.C.D.A. But
it's not more like the impression I have, it's more like a common impression persons carry around. So it's not more like
yes,
impression.
Yes, it is a general impression simply because the officials, more especially the civil servant, the officials, most of the things they collect from local council, they don't remit it to the council. They spend it on their own. You see some of them printing different receipts. This is for government, this is for us. You understand? But when it gets closer to the people, we will monitor it ourselves. People will move on to monitor it. If you are collecting money from the market, you are, I don't know how to, let me use KAFTAN as an organization. Let's say for instance that whatever you realize in Ondo station will be shared, will be used to pay your salary. Then will you now have somebody using KAFTAN Ondo to make money when you know your salary you are going to collect your salary from Ondo station, not from KAFTAN General? I don't know, maybe you understand what I'm saying. So people will monitor it. There are some people that they will come into place. This is our own local government. This is our local council development area. It's a development area. It's not yet local government. We have to look at it. People will generate money. Many people don't pay tax because they don't see what government are doing. The government generally, they don't know what they are doing. But now, if the government is closer to them, you maintain their market, you do their road for them, they will be forced to pay. They will like to pay tax. And when they pay tax, they will be able to meet up with whatever expenses that L.C.D.A. requires.
All right, when you talk about the preparedness of this forthcoming election, however, how would you, like, say, access the preparation of the parties, the individual parties? Because currently we know that the incumbent party, which is APC, has a large, like, say, hold of most of these local government areas. So how do you think the other parties are actually preparing towards this election? Because I'm very sure some have, like, preparing to, overtake this present government.
Thank you very much. I am a member of an opposition party, and ODEC has really announced that they have about 9 political parties with their own, ruling party, making 10 that are prepared, that they've checked their records, they've checked whatever they've submitted, that they are ready for the election. And I as an opposition, I still believe that ODEC will do the right thing, not to their own, not to the paymasters. This thing, they are going to do the right thing. They are going to use beavers. They are going to put, because the last election they did in the local government here was wishy-washy. They didn't take ballot boxes to the units where people will cast vote. They didn't. But now they've assured everybody that they are going to bring everything. They are going to do it in a normal way.
Now, considering the ruling class, APC, do you think so far they have done well in the state, on the state?
Actually,
now, I want you to speak as a citizen, not more like an opposition party.
They have not done well, and that is the more reason why we have more political parties struggling to gain power from them. They have not done well. There are a lot of things. There are a lot of gap. APC in Ondo State don't believe in social welfare, in which the past government have put in place. One of it is shuttle buses for school children, mother and child, free health for children below 6 and adults above 60. Most of this program was cancelled by the present government.
Do you have a fear? Do you have a fear they might not exactly want this election, local government election, to be basically free and fair? Do you think they have plans of it?
Personally, I don't have fear, because as you see me, I'm an aspirant. I'm a candidate in that election. So, and I don't fear anything. I believe they are going to do it the way it should be done. And every one of us is going to the poll to win. And we have that belief that we are going to get the power from them.
Well, what's your reaction towards the people who have described this reform as unequal? More like some are saying that it's unequal and unjust. some also have given so many reactions, though we are more like concerning this particular situation, even having it at the back of the mind that this purpose is actually for the government to be closer to the people.
Actually, it's only God that is just. There is nothing that human being will do that will say can be just. People have been complaining about the way they created it, that some local government, they gave them 4, some 2, some even 1, that they just created only 1 from the existing one, some 2. So there is no way, for me personally, I don't want to, in order not to offend some colleagues, there are some that were not supposed to be created at all. But since it has been created, we'll move on with it.
Now, I guess the basic cause for alarm for some citizens currently is there is a local government election fast approaching, and then we have the issue of the L.C.D.A. also approaching. Now, it's more like, don't you think the ruling parties are using this? I'm asking this question again so as to get a better picture. Are they this to probably plant their, in quote, man in person, you know, their man at hand from the grassroots to actually garner more support for them, and not really looking at the people per se?
No, it's not like that. The L.C.D.A., they've started this thing immediately. Arakunrin emerged the second time, I think 2020. He has been planning it, but fortunately or unfortunately, he has already had an election into the local council, local government, existing local government. And if their tenure does not expire, he cannot create L.C.D.A. You understand? L.C.D.A. cannot just be created when the existing local government is see. He has created them, expecting them to leave. Then he will appoint chairman, caretaker chairman to the 51 L.C.D.A., 33 L.C.D.A. and 18 local governments.
Yes, I'm trying to follow. And so with that being said, the issue of expenses, don't forget we already have issues when it comes to funding, adequate funding. You know what I mean when I mean adequate funding. Yeah. And so how do you think L.C.D.A. themselves could be funded if we have issues funding just a little? And the issue of funding, you just tend to brush away. I want you to actually speak in detail on this one.
You know, there will still be funding from federal. When the funding comes, there are some local governments, they have their sharing formula. If they create, like, let me take for instance my own local government, L.C.D.A. Okegbo. L.C.D.A. Okegbo is created into 3. One, Okegbo is having 4 of that 10. We have 10 wards in that local government. Okegbo is having 4 wards. So they are going to give, when the funds come, they give Okegbo 4%, 40%. Then L.C.D.A. holds 60%. That 40% with IGR within the L.C.D.A. will be used to maintain the L.C.D.A. It's not that when the funds come, they are not going to give it to them. They give it to them, they share it accordingly. Then whatever they are able to because they are going to realize more. For when we have L.C.D.A. Okegbo, for an L.C.D.A. person to come to Okegbo to collect something, not living there, it may be difficult. But you see people working with you, living with you, they will have they know nook and cranny of the community. They know those who have grinding machine that they are going to tax on. Not, you know, it's bringing it closer. And when they employ more people, you know your neighbor, you know the number of houses in the community. Many things they've not been paying for, they will pay. But the only thing is the government has to be responsible to the citizen. When they are not responsible, citizens will not be responsible too. Because it's only when you are bringing this machine, grading machine, you are bringing it to my street, that you can now be telling me that okay, you pay tenement rate, you pay this, you pay that. But if you don't see little development, it will be difficult for people to pay.
Now, in Nigeria, the thing is, grassroots politics is one that tends to be neglected so to some extent. You know, it's more like they only come to the people when it's time for election, and then when the vote is cast and all is said and done, it's more like let them be. Now, in Ondo State particularly, what's your take on our grassroots participation in politics? Have we been really engaged?
Every politics is local. Every politics is local.
Can you emphasize that?
Okay. We don't have Bola Tinubu when you don't have his unit. You know, we start from the unit to the ward, to the local government, to the state, to the national. Or before state, we have federal constituency. We have senatorial district, state, before we talk of national. And anybody to become somebody must come from a unit. That unit could be of 100 voters, could be of 200 voters, could be of 500 voters. That unit, that's your local. If you don't start your politics from that locality, you can't get to the top. And there is nobody that gets anything that will not run down, because even if they don't see you from the beginning of the year till the end, when election comes, you have to report in that unit, whatever you want. So every politics is local. So there is nobody that can be national chairman. They suspended Oshiomhole from his ward. Oshiomhole, as national chairman of a party, was suspended. In fact, was removed from the ward. So is the grassroots has important role to play in even national politics.
Well, I think what he is trying to say, because from what I understand what he said, more like the grassroots politics in Nigeria most of the time has been, done away with. More like attention has not been paid so much to the grassroots politics, which probably makes it even tougher. But have we in Ondo actually been able to engage fully into this politics? Have we been able to, practice this politics more in Ondo?
I am telling you that there is no way you want to run government at the top there without coming down. I don't know if you know the organogram of political class right from the unit. There is no way, they can, you may be thinking maybe the grassroots is abandoned. Even if they are talking of palliative over there, they will share it over there, but they will bring it down to the local level. It may not be for the general populace, but the people of the party in power will see it in that locality. I don't know, maybe I've answered what you are saying. Okay. They are nobody. They can't do without involving the local, the unit, ward, and that is the reason why they say some governors, when they go to their local government, they will say this is the chairman, this is the governor of my ward. They are governor, but they tell the chairman of their ward, this is the governor of my ward, who can do and undo. The governor of your ward can suspend you from the party as a governor. So.
Quite interesting. Well, I'm quite particular about this election exercise. Earlier, you gave us the notion that you believe solely that this forthcoming election is going to be successful since it has already been promised. Although you mentioned beavers just now, and we could remember what happened in the general elections where there were even glitches, considering the network and all of that.
We are caught on that. We are expecting justice.
What exactly are you holding on to that gives you this assertion that it's going to be successful, and what happened previously, like you said, is not going to play out?
The reason is that we are advancing gradually in Nigeria. The issue of beavers, either we like it or not, Beavers brought some people in. The people they don't want to win. They remove Beavers in their own situation. But we believe, according to the ODA chairman, the election is going to is going to be of international standard. And we believe that because El-Rufai, former governor of Kaduna State, did local government election in which I think about 3 local governments was won by opposition because he used Beavers. In fact, it was even electronically advanced election.
Okay.
Yes. So we believe there's going to be a change
This time
in
around.
whatever we are doing.
Now, in your words, you were quite certain as to the opposition having the upper hand in this election.
Yeah.
But funny enough, APC tends to actually hold the state correctly, and they seem to be doing fairly good. I mean, nobody has exactly come out to complain. We know we have our issues and differences here and there, but in all honesty, I think it's safe to say APC has actually tried and they are really doing well currently. Now, what gives that confidence to think people just want to sway allegiance at some point?
What is happening currently in Nigeria is a problem of APC. For almost 8 years, Buhari's administration was complaining about Jonathan till the end of the administration. The current administration of Bola Tinubu has started complaining about Buhari's regime. So we believe they have come for only complaints, not to rescue anybody, not to do anything. And everybody, in fact, most of us in Yoruba land that did the Emilokan's election, they are regretting it. And everybody is ready to vote for opposition against them. That's one of our assurances.
We can't exactly take what is happening on the federal level to our states. The state level is quite different. We have our governor, we have our local government chairmen and all that. So we can't really maybe use whatever is going on between the Goodluck Jonathan regime or the Buhari or the Tinubu regime to really judge what's going on in our states. So people actually have their minds, and it's quite different.
It is. When we wanted to, during election, people were voting according to tribe. People were voting according to our own tribe here. It's our son. Let us vote for our son. And people, I've seen very many of them regretting their action the other time. Now it is going to be election of your son, your son, your son. But which party is your son? You don't understand. 3 people, 4 people, 5 people, 10 people are collecting for local government chairman. All of them are your son. But which party are they? Which party is destroying Nigeria? Which party is not doing well in those states? Which party? We've seen parties. We've seen what they have done right from the time of Adefarati up to the present moment. People are scoring them. They are scoring them. Even people that are selling pepper, they are scoring them. Like Adefarati doesn't look like this. Like this thing, it doesn't. They will tell you this party is the current administration is not doing well in many areas.
So is it about the party or about the individual this time?
Because I could dare say in the last elections, presidential election, Nigeria didn't really go for party per se. They went for the individual. And it was quite clear. So stated the issue of party instead of individual.
They were talking. The people were going for individual because of their tribe. Yes, we've seen it. If you look at it, if you see the 3 major contenders, you see where they have larger votes is their zone. Apart from Tinubu losing Lagos, and that is the reason why people are saying he didn't win that election. So he won Southwest squarely. Obi won Southeast, while Atiku won Northeast very well. People were voting according to their tribe, not according to their conscience. But this time around, this is a local government election. You know everybody. You know everybody. You are going to, each candidate push forward from each political party will be assessed on his or our own. The political party bringing you forward will be assessed. So there are a lot of things. Not issue of, they are not going to base it mainly on individual this time around. It's going to be based on party, because all of them are your children, are your sons and daughters. You know them. Some of them may be better than the other, but you will still judge them greatly according to the party that is promoting them.
So is it safe to say we have nothing to worry about as regarding, say, insecurity or ballot box snatching and all that?
That one can't take place in a local government election. It can't really, because if they, like in my own place now, if they try it, they won't go unless they don't bring the ballot box. If they bring ballot box, nobody in that community can snatch the ballot box. They may take it away. Another party might have won. They may take it to Akure and announce another person. I can't dispute that. But for them, that they will bring the ballot box and somebody will snatch it, the person will regret his life.
So we could say it's going to be peaceful there.
It will.
It's a good one for us.
It will.
Yeah, exactly. It's a good one.
It will.
So how would you admonish Nigerians worldwide, considering the state of the nation currently? How would you admonish Nigerians to keep up with the entire situation?
Nigeria should pray for a better government. Nigeria should shout, should call on judiciary to do the right thing this time around. We are tired. I just want to tell people we can't do anything on our own. Every of our hope is lie on the judiciary now. Let the judiciary do what their mates, their predecessor have not done. Let them do the right thing for this country to move forward. That's the only admonition I will give to the people now.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us this morning.
You're welcome.
Well, to our audience out there, thank you once again for choosing to come back to Daybreak Africa, and this is where we'll be leaving you to our Lagos studio, who definitely has a package prepared for you, so stay tuned and enjoy yourself while I sign out. I'm Angela Daku.
Have a great day ahead. I remain Ezekiel Ogar.